Yellow Home
with Ella Schofield
and Big House.
Driving you home across all 7 Emirates. Nice to have you with us, and it's a very special day, of course. It's Commemoration Day, and all day UAE leaders have been paying tribute to the nation's heroes. Really important and lovely that we recognise the dedication and bravery of those in the military and civilian service and the things that they've done for this country. And I love the whole recognition of it, and just everyone coming together and
100%. And I mean, the day is held in memory of the Emiratis who died in the line of duty as well. November 30th is a day of pride and glory, and we'll always remember. Even the people in the leadership said that, as people and leadership, they appreciate and they have so much gratitude, that the future and the people who dedicated, their life for this country. I've always been very vocal about loving the flag. Like, what is it like? And people, ever since I was really young, right? People used to make fun of me always. And
you like the flag?
Yeah, like there's something about, I'm going to say it in a way I hope it's understood. Something really honorable and nice and cool, right? Cool word here. Loving your country. And having, just feeling that you belong. The problem that we have all over the world there now is there's this thing called third culture kids, where there's an issue where what's home? What's the concept of home? So I know a lot of, expats that live here in the UAE that call this place home. They're South African, they're British, they're, Lebanese, and they don't call these countries home. Like, they don't call their home countries home. No. They call the UAE home. So again, which brings the concept of what is home. The home is a place where you can live بنعمة الأمن والأمان, like safe and sound. There's no worries in a country where it respects its people, take care of its people. And I told you about this clip that was really viral on CNN when a very famous journalist, I can't really recall her name right now, she was asking, and he said, yes, the UAE cares about its people. Other like not like other countries. And that for me is really crazy from a statement. Because I'm pretty sure everyone cares, but it's also different.
There's different levels of care, and there's different ways to show it. And, I don't feel like the people of Lebanon are looked after. I mean, I say that.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of...
I don't know the full intricacies. I know it's very complicated.
It is.
But
and
from what I've seen, and they're lovely people.
Yeah. There's a lot of corruption as well, Anna, like all over. Okay. And you feel like the UAE is really... This concept of home is very interesting to me and very intriguing. Because again, I was talking to my friend who happens to be from Sudan, for example. He's born, raised here, but he's Sudanese, right? He's like, I feel home here. This is my home. Yeah. I love Sudan, but I mean, I'm home here. Yeah. And this is what the UAE was able to do. Like, for example, in my case, I came here, moved in from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, which is my hometown, right? But then God blessed us with a kid named Ahmed who happens to have autism. And then throughout the years, we found out that, the best way is to bring him here. And that, I think, the best decision I've ever taken. Right. Would I get more career things in Saudi? Yes, 100%. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
But yeah, because the way Saudi Arabia shaped and the whole entertainment industry, I was like in the middle of it.
Yeah, and also it's flying now, isn't it? I mean, it's properly open.
But again, he's my hero, and I'll do that again in a heartbeat. But what the UAE gave me, and seeing him, how he was able to kind of improve, and he's talking, he's learning the Arabic alphabet right now, which I guarantee you, many Arab listeners right now, you guys don't know the Arab alphabet. I can, let's go. Not a lot of people know the Arab alphabet.
No.
That's a fact.
I'm just going to sit here and listen to this.
I'm saying Arab people don't know it. I'm really honest with you. That's a fact.
Understand.
Yeah.
It's funny listening to you talk like that, though, because my little boy doesn't remember the UK at all. So they've grown up.
It's very interesting.
Here. My daughter does a little bit, but it's tiny. I mean, they came over when they were 2. So
that's home for them. You've been here for 10 years in a way. Like
here is home. This is what they used to. They're used to warm winters. They're used to boiling summers. They go back and they're freezing in the UK. Yeah. They love it, but they treat it like you. Like, oh, it's rain. Oh, it's snow. It would be like you. Yeah. They think it's all exciting, and I'm there going, yeah. I tell you what, 3 days of this in a row, you won't be finding it fun anymore. Yeah. And don't go out in the street there because that's next to a council estate and it's really dangerous. And no, you can't go out on your own. And no, you can't play out here. And there's rules. And don't walk away from me in the airport because someone might snatch you. And different cultures, different different crime layers, different safety levels.
Yeah.
So my children, I suppose, are those third generation kids, and I'm a half and half.
Exactly. I'm just
in both countries.
No, bless. So I'm just Googling quickly here. Apparently, there are more than 200 nationalities living and working in the UAE.
Incredible.
Isn't that?
Incredible.
If you think about it, yesterday there was a big, huge event happened in the UAE where all the big stars were like honored, and people are saying that is just at another level of tolerance, of love, of 200 nationalities that live. And you think about one family only, right? Like it's like a ripple effect. Families need to live. We're all here to make money, to live, to provide for our families, and it's like this ecosystem that's beautiful here. And it seems to me like, I think you said that all the time, people come from different backgrounds. There's no issues. No. Different religions. There's no issues.
No, but this is what I always say when I go back to the UK. This is my biggest thing. Everyone, that we live in quite a part of the world that's got lots of stuff going on. Let's be honest. And everyone's arguing with everyone else. Everyone disagrees with everyone else. There are various reasons for that. But we live in the UAE, where all those countries that are not agreeing around us walk through all the malls in all 7 Emirates, and no one is disagreeing.
100%.
Everyone's walking side by side. Everyone's buying coffee. Everyone's buying bread. Do you know what I mean? The normal day-to-day things, no one is arguing because of cultural differences.
And I love that.
I found that amazing.
Yeah, if there's a theory or if there's a practice, the UAE definitely proved that, celebrating 49 years, of course, and it's just beautiful, beautiful to see. Thank you, UAE, for making this a place for me and Anna, actually, to spend. You've been here more than me, you're an OG here in 10 years.
But you're Arab, so
you're an OG. You've been here. That's good. Just a quick story about the OG. One time I was talking to a British friend of mine, and shout out to him, Dr. James, and I said, "Yo, you're an OG," and he had to Google that.
Did he?
He's like, what does OG mean?
I know, but you've told me what OG is before, and I remember going, what is it?
I'll tell you off air, but it's
Okay.
really cool. OG is like a respectful way to say, that's amazing. That's just, you're cool.
Okay.
You're dope. It's very hip hop.
Oh, is it? Okay,
But if you're an OG, like your dad is an OG.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. 1976 Star Wars. We have the dare still going on, you guys. I dared Anna yesterday to get a message from her dad.
I forgot. Sorry.
Saying a message to the UAE and the Middle East, actually, about, how do they feel about Star Wars, and, him thanking everybody here.
I must get him to do that.
Which is really cool. So again, blessed commemoration. Am I saying it right? Commemoration Day.
Yella Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big Hass.
Music's greatest songs. Worth covering. Original classic hitmakers.
So the song I'm bringing you today, we are going back to 1977. Absolutely amazing. This song has been covered by Dusty Springfield, Aretha Franklin. Who else had a go at it? There was someone else. Everyone loves it. It's a true love song. But the original song was written and produced and released and was #1 everywhere by a band called Bread, and that's what I'm bringing you today. American soft rock band from LA, California. They had 13 songs chart on the Billboard Hot 100, and that was between 1970 and 1977. And the band was formed by a gentleman called David Gates. Now, the thing is about this band, there was 11 of them at one point. They're all proper musicians. They all play about 18 instruments. So David Gates was known for the vocals. He sang lead on it. Bass guitar, keyboards, violin, viola, and percussion. Then you've got Jimmy Griffin. Vocals, guitar, keyboards, percussion. Rob Royer played the bass guitar, the flute, the keyboards, percussion, recorder, backing vocals. And then you had other session musicians like Ron Edgar, who played the drums. Jimmy Gordon played the drums, percussion and piano. And Mike Botts became their permanent drummer when he joined in the summer of 1969. There's also a Larry Nechtel. Say that name. And he replaced Royer in 1971, and he played the keyboards, the bass guitar, the guitar, and the harmonica.
Wow.
And I love it when you hear all that, because it means that actually they just have this huge scope. So when they did a song, they could include all those things that we just mentioned. And when you've got percussionists as well, I dated a drummer, a session drummer.
Good to know.
Yeah, And now back to the story. No. No, but I remember him going to auditions quite a lot. And the thing is, when you're with someone who's percussion or drum, they beat all the time. Everything has a beat.
Same thing when you when you're a basketball player, you walk in the malls with somebody that's shooting like that.
Yeah.
When you're with sailors or captains, I'm pretty sure you get that.
It's all about the water and the flow. Yeah, absolutely. But with a percussionist or a drummer, they're tapping and they're beating, or they're finding a beat in a dripping tap, and actually it's lovely to be with that. Anything like a squeak on a car, they'll start adding to it. It's when one of my heels fell off on one of my shoes, now it's going clonk, click, clonk, click, and you started rapping to it. That's what it's like. Yeah, going out with a musician all the time. But I remember him talking about bread, and that was going back, as in he was to his parents, introducing him to it. But that's the thing, when you've got those kind of people in a band, they can create. So Gates was from Tulsa in Oklahoma. And he did a song in the 1950s. I mean, that's how old he is. Not live anymore, actually, called Living Doll. And he sang it for Atlantic Records, but nothing massively happened. And they eventually decided to make this band, and they called it Bread. There was no pre-band, there was no pre-name, quite a lot. They're different albums or things like that. There wasn't. They made Bread, as it were. And they had a huge success. They were a massive touring band. They toured everywhere. And they loved playing together. But by 1973, the tiredness from the constant recording and constant touring, constant working.
I'm here, I'm with you.
Fatigue, I'm just saying.
The fatigue itself. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It caused problems. And they started infighting. It was having problems with their success because all the band members started to show the strain. And Gates and Griffin, who were the main songwriters, they were properly falling out. There were 11 chart singles between 1970 and 1973. That's 3 years where they released 11 songs. And the problem was that it was for Elektra Records, but Gates's songs got more A-sides. And so Griffin felt that was unfair and that it should have been split, but it wasn't. There was also some dissatisfaction with the songs planned for a sixth album, and then they had their equipment stolen just before a big gig at Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, and that was in 1973. And after their gear was stolen, that was like the volcano erupting. Everything kind of came to a big head. They fell out massively and they disbanded. So Gates and Griffin went off to their solo careers, and in that time they were doing their solo careers. One of them did an amazing song, Goodbye Girl. You know the film The Goodbye Girl? I feel like Barbara Streisand's The Goodbye Girl. Yes, please, Google Live for me, Big House. I feel that she is, though, and the song The Goodbye Girl was very, very famous, and he wrote it. Anyway, they then had a reunion in 1976. They did some stuff because there was two best of Bread albums released, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And each time they released a best of, huge success, peaking at number 2 in the album charts, number 1. Everyone loved it. So it was the record company that came back to them and went, we want another album, guys. You are... every time you get together, everyone loves you. Write a new album. So they did. They got together and they did another album, Without Your Love.
And you're right, Anna. Sorry to interrupt you.
Was it
The Goodbye Girl is a single released by David Gates, the lead singer of Bread, 1978, following the premiere of the hit movie The Goodbye Girl.
Yeah, and was it Barbara? Was it Babs? I'm thinking it was.
Barbara?
Yes.
Doesn't say anything about Barbara.
Oh, maybe
the actress, you mean?
Yeah, who's the Goodbye Girl?
No, it's not Barbara Streisand.
I wish I hadn't pushed on that. I sounded right up until that point.
Yeah.
In 1996, they literally put their differences to bed and they reunited the whole band, and they did a special 25th anniversary tour of the United States. They went also to South Africa, Europe and Asia. This is what I mean. They were just a gigging band. The group was accompanied by various other members, big kind of... They liked their big bands, they liked their guys. In 2005, really interesting, Griffin and Botts both died from cancer at the age of 61 in the same year. And then Nechtel, remember I talked about him earlier, he then died of a heart attack and he was 69. And it all happened all at the same time within a few years. It was like bang, bang, bang. So there's only 2 survivors now. Gates and Roy are the only surviving members of Bread. And Roya continues to be in in music. One lives in Washington with his wife, Jo Rita. The other has relocated to the Virgin Islands, and they're just chilling, as you should when you're that age. This song that I'm playing you was their biggest hit. And the thing for me is this is a song that was played. I've got such early memories of this. This is my mum and dad having parties. This is them playing it at sort of 2 or 3 a.m. when everything was winding down. That's what I remember. And everyone knew the words, and everyone was singing. And I knew the words too. And I'm tiny, but everyone was lovely to me when I used to come out at midnight. And I knew I just need to wait till midnight. And when I came out, it was all right. It was the first song on Bread's 1970 album On the Waters, released in June, and then went straight into the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart, spent the week there, and was number 1, and was the only single to spend a week there. For some reason, it's got a record. It was number 5 in the UK singles chart, number 13 at various other countries, and it's been certified gold as well. It sold over 1 million copies.
Wow.
And of course, it's basically horse and
Good
cart
song.
days. It's so loud. Yeah, so let's have a full listen to it and just enjoy it. It's a real love story.
Yellow Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big House.
And we are here live through till 8 o'clock. Don't leave us. Stay and play, as they say in the trade. Let's talk about soldiers one day communicating through brainwaves. This blew me away when I read it earlier.
I've heard something like that before, to be honest. And now they're saying that this is a breakthrough in decoding brain signals.
Yep.
Could actually be the first step towards soldiers communicating without having to speak loud during a military operation. See, this, I don't know what it does to you. It worries me.
Why?
Because, I just think it's not, I don't know. I don't have good vibes from it. Like, okay, you know what? You use the decoding, you use whatever it is, messages that you want to send. So right now, I'll just look at you and you'll be able to know what I think. It's just also...
It's slightly terrifying.
It's a little bit weird.
Well, the thing is, I'm a big believer in instinct anyway, and actually if you can read all sorts of signs just by keeping quiet and actually assessing air in a room and a feeling in a room and a vibe in a room. We're quite instinctive creatures, really. We allow or don't allow ourselves to be, actually. How many times have you... Well, I always think I'm a bit of a witch, and my sister and I can think about her and make her call me.
But instinct is different. Like this is they're practically saying,
this
they're
is
not
an
only
algorithm.
measuring signals, they're going to interpret them, interpret.
I love. In fact, we should explain.
Yeah.
So here, before we get into the debate, so an algorithm and a complex mathematics situation could change the face of how the military operate in the future. This is what they're saying. They're saying there's a breakthrough in decoding brain signals, and it could be the first step towards soldiers communicating without having, the normal thing. So this new research has successfully separated brain signals, and it can influence behavior and actions from those that do not, according to the publication, do not, feel this way. And so there are these emerging trends in military warfare. I mean, the thing is, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it does.
But it's really clever. They want to identify which brain
signals
signals were directing movement or behavior-relevant signals, and then were able to remove those signals from other more stagnant brain signals. So when you're not about to behave in a certain way, everyone will know that.
It's not... Bottom line, what I'm trying to say is this, okay? Respect to that, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of things out there in the world, not only this one, that is trying to unhumanize us, if that's a word, right? Like, where is the humanity of things? I'm not against technology. And like people like Omar Boussaidi and, of course, Omni and Hani right now, will be like, yo, hey, what's up? Yo, I'm against dehumanizing things and, people, actually, You only can dehumanize people, obviously. So that when you take that out, I'm with technology, but that without taking the humanity element of it. Now, why am I saying like that?
Yeah.
Because again, God created us, and I think the brain, once, if I'm understanding right, like you'll be able we'll be able to communicate, not even understand, communicate via brain only. So now I'm communicating with you, Anna. What is that?
Should have seen. Well, the M bit, you were quite aggressive.
Yeah. No, I was not. That's what I'm saying. How do you know what I'm saying?
But your face showed me you were
I know.
aggressive.
I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Like this, like.
Yeah, but
the brain is a complex thing.
it is. And
with all
we only use a third of it.
100%.
And
Exactly.
that's why we have instincts that we don't know that we're not using up. But 2/3 of our brain is completely obsolete right now.
Sometimes
We
just saying,
don't use it.
leave the brain alone, man. Like, just worry about other things, Like, worry about, like, I don't know, the weather or whatever. Like, global
I am worrying about whether it's going to be rain next week.
Which is dope.
But look, this is going to be a machine that calculates whether a soldier's brain is stressed or tired before the brain sends the signals that makes them aware that they are, so they can take a break without
What's happening? Like,
overtime.
the lie detecting thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a reality, right?
Yeah.
Because why? It's very simple. When you're lying, they can test if you're like, heart rate
stressed.
up or whatever it is.
Yeah,
They can tell with the eye thing. There are rules and there are also techniques and they're used by, military maybe services more just to
Yeah.
get an information out of something or someone
Yeah.
to know. Yeah,
Yeah.
this exists from, World War I or even before that or whatever.
And there's a drug, isn't there?
Exactly.
The truth drug they can inject
Yo.
you, and you can't not tell the truth.
100%.
Yeah.
So I just think, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of like interfering with stuff like that. And if, according to my understanding, if you'll be able to communicate through the brain, it's just also, what's this machine? Where this machine will be? Will it be in my brain?
In your pocket. No, really, I was just reading about it. Basically. So if
My
you
pocket
have,
would be filled with phones, in this case guns, and now this machine.
and now this machine, yeah, but you basically talk to a computer. Your computer can be in your pocket.
Okay.
It can be in your mobile phone or whatever, and that computer talks to it, and then it talks to your teammate's computer,
We're really, really going crazy with
and
this.
then his or her computer is going to talk to your teammate's computer. They think it's decades away, but basically,
Yeah.
everyone's going to have a little computer chip in them. Oh, whoops, did I say it out loud? Computer chip in them,
fell in it.
but whether it's in their phone or whatever it is that they're carrying, that is going to tell them what the other person intends to do before they do it.
Very interesting.
Really, yes, really interesting.
Man, we need a really cool track after this one.
This is Pulse 95. Pulse.
It's 12 minutes past 7. We are live through till 8 o'clock. Nice having you with us tonight.
Tell them, man, the conversation that happened off air, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, just
amazing.
Sometimes you just want to bring the mics up and let everyone into the.
Would you guys want us to hear us off air? Let us know. Maybe we'll do that one time.
That's a podcast.
That's a podcast.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
The UAE's first homegrown contactless mobile payment app. It's called MPay, E-M-P-A-Y, and it made its debut yesterday, allowing residents and citizens from the UAE to pay for government and private sector services, as well as offering advanced credit to users based on their financial history.
Mashallah, it's homegrown.
Homegrown.
Nice.
So let's have a look through it. So all UAE nationals and all UAE residents with a valid Emirates identity card can use MPay. And we are required to scan our ID card when we register with the app. It works by downloading the app for free, obviously, and then you complete the registration. You add your mobile number, your email, you scan your Emirates ID. You can add your credit card, debit card to the wallet. You scan it or whatever, and off it goes. And we receive a prepaid digital card with the app and can upload funds to it to make payments through MPay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you've got to be careful, because I was just reading, you've got to be careful when you do transfer funds to MPay because it can't be reversed.
Okay.
So if you accidentally slip quick 10k over
10 million right
and
there.
you meant 1,000, yeah, you ain't getting that back. You're going to have to use it.
Yeah, you have to use it. It's interesting. Would you use it?
I think it's quite good. I quite like all this contactless stuff.
Yeah?
I haven't really been a fan because I kept seeing people get stuck when they try to pay with their phone and then it wouldn't work.
Not a fan of that.
And I kept thinking, and then these people would be going, oh, I haven't got my wallet on me. And I would be there thinking, well, this is a dreadful, can you move out of the way? I've got my wallet on me. It happened a couple of times in shops and these people were just there going.
That's very interesting. Last week I was emceeing this tech and digital conference and they were talking about cryptocurrency and I got lost.
Right.
So weird. And this is kind of the future they're saying.
Yeah.
People are now are afraid of it because you don't know, like, what does cryptocurrency mean? Like, they don't know.
I don't know what it means.
So the same thing, I'm afraid to pay anything for my phone. Like, just put it like that, scan it and leave it. What would it take? It's weird to me.
Well, it shows you. I mean, it
I get
flips
it.
up like a.
I get it, but for me, the card, I'm already scared from the card. To be honest, I'm a cash man. Like, I like cash, you
Do
know?
you?
Yeah.
They want to get rid of the cash.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you think about it, it's dirty. And in some of the African countries, I know in Zimbabwe, you can get typhoid and awful illnesses just from touching the money.
Touching that.
Yeah, the money
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
dirty. It's got so many germs on it, and especially with COVID-19 at the moment.
Yeah, no,
you do not
that
want
I
it.
agree. That I agree.
Yeah.
And some stores even are not even accepting cash. To be honest, they're
amazing,
accepting,
isn't it?
which is really cool.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. That's homegrown, and that's that's from within, which is really cool.
Yeah.
What's the app called? MPay.
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 Yeah, so if you want to go and find it, you can.
Definitely.
It's going to expand to other markets in the Middle East as well. Authorities are planning to expand MPay into new markets, but right now it's just for the government things.
If you liked this episode of Yalla Home, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.